Jet Black says salam alaikum to some of you and peace to the rest of you, and asked you to hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. Kuntree Black here again, narrating for Jet Black, who's really amusing the hell out of me at this job. He walked in like a high yellow Tupac Shakur, reciting some lyrics from Machiavelli's blasphemy song, so I asked him where his thug life tattoo was, and he said, "I'm too dark for a tattoo to show up." Anyway. His receptionist heard this and rolled her eyes again like last time when his wife showed up and asked where he was. She rolled them eyes for about 3 minutes and fell asleep again. I wonder how she keeps this job like that at the Jet Black Air Lounge, but here she is, sleeping at her desk already. Jet is in his office right now, thinking of and writing down some new light-skinned jokes to tell to his son, who is darker than both of his daughters anyway. His girlfriend said that she didn't want to try this restaurant in a neighboring country because that restaurant serves alcohol, so he looked at her and said, "Don't act so light-skinned about it. We'll just get Pepsi." Who is he to say she is acting light-skinned about anything? He looks more ambiguous than Sinbad with a straight hairstyle. Here's what makes it worse. He spoke in Arabic to his wife, and his Arabic sounded like something out of a Tarzan movie. She spoke, and you could tell she knows Arabic. He sounds like one of those guys with a loincloth and a spear just trying to pretend like he can speak it. He actually sounds country, ghetto, and like a stereotypical jungle bunny in one of those old Hollywood movies about Africa, all rolled into one. I don't know how he managed to pull that off in another language, but he did it in a way that only his red ass could. I just started working with him, and I already know that no one else could ever sound that bad in another language that even I myself can't speak unless they're related to him. Someone please cash app this ninja so he can make it worthwhile for his wife to teach him enough Arabic to sound like a sensible adult. So we heard that back in the States, sisters are out here losing jobs left and right. Well, let me tell you that even white women are losing jobs too. Jet's own wife told him this morning in front of me that her former boss back in the USA, one of those really fair-minded white women that doesn't believe in mistreating anyone, also lost her job due to downsizing. Trust me, gentlemen, those white women that are the most likely to treat you well are the ones who will lose their jobs first, because those white guys who are sick of you are the main ones hiring the women who think the most like them. And most white women ain't interested in brothers for more than some bedroom fun anyway. I don't know how many of them ain't interested in us even for that. But I do know that the ones who are will come out after us and try to get us, whereas the ones who aren't interested will just stay skinny and hang around their own men. Thus, we can tell that sisters and the white women that disagree with our interests the least are the first ones to be let go, as well as those who just don't have any hard skills on which to fall back. When I say hard skills, I mean those skills that are hard to learn, let alone master. If you avoided accounting or any subject more difficult than that, then believe me, they are ready to let you go even if you're a male. You have to know something that most people don't know and won't be able to study either. This not only means that sisters and their closest white friends are losing jobs, but also that the guys who they like most are losing jobs if they got them outside of specialized and uncommon skills. Let me tell you why Jet, Razor, and I agree on one double standard and what that double standard is. When brothers lose jobs, especially when any of us lost jobs back in 2012 or after, those brothers deserve some sympathy in most cases. They certainly deserve the benefit of the doubt. What brother you know back then who thought that he had the same job security as one of Master Charlie Wyatt's grandsons? We never took jobs for granted, and we certainly never took good jobs for granted, even if we earned them. Now, when sisters are out here losing jobs, they are losing them because of their attitudes and their lack of difficult skills. Hell, Jet saw this in a grocery store less than a month ago when he ran an errand for his mom. Sister Girl was already impatient with an elderly disabled customer because he needed one of those mobile chairs, and she told the other cashier that she was going to stay with that attitude because the management called her to the front to be a cashier when she was supposed to be elsewhere. Here she was with neck tats and weave that was barely even on her head, evenly. And those of you that are in your 30s can remember when that alone meant you were lucky if anyone hired you at all and then paid you on time. She felt she had job security she didn't have. You all have stories like that, and their recent experiences too. This is why it is that when they lose their jobs, we must not extend the same benefit of the doubt to any sisters we don't know personally to be an exception. We should instead doubt the benefit. See, I remember back when I had my first good job as a grown-up. I was married to a sister back then too, like most of us black men. They laid off people all of a sudden, and I had already been praised for my work and for learning quickly. They wanted me to train other recruits, and I was only a year into the job until the day they had to lay someone off. They decided I had to be one of them. They weren't unhappy with my work. They were unhappy with my boundaries, like the boundary I drew between my work and my private life, as if a black man ain't got such rights like other people. I told my wife they laid off a bunch of us, and she started questioning me like I got fired for having an affair with the boss's wife. She wanted to know what I did. And the thing is, I already know how unbelievable a black man sounds, saying he didn't do anything to provoke some crap he ain't never wanted. I felt like a guilty liar for telling her the truth, that I had been praised for my work, and she said I must have made that part up since I was fired now, even though I told her they let a room full of employees go. She even said I didn't deserve that job, and that I was just lucky I ever had it, and that my luck ran out. By that time, I already knew that other black men often heard sugar honey iced tea like this from their wives and girlfriends too, but I didn't know that my own wife was going to be that way. She's my ex now, though. She also knows that my current wives are more patient than she is, and neither of them blame me for crap that someone else did. Hell, Jet's wife said to him on her last office visit that she wouldn't blame him for something that he didn't do, and that he should remember that instead of worrying about outcomes that aren't his fault anyway, and that she knows he ain't lazy, and so she appreciates everything he tries to do. She got some sense, like my own wife, and I still can't figure out why she chose that beige-ass swamp ninja. He's right about those double standards, though. We need some, because they ain't unfair like it would seem at first thought. The black women's double standards are the unfair ones, and the good women that don't have them aren't allowed to say how bogus they are without some security measures. That brings me to my next point. Those sisters that lose their jobs and really truly didn't provoke that, but who did their jobs responsibly, also will have to suffer because of what the rest of them did. See, the fact is that they are collateral damage, and we don't like that any more than they do. But we can't tell who is collateral damage from those who provoked the retaliation in the first place. This is why you don't owe it to the good sisters to go out there looking for them to save them. Remember, even the good sisters didn't go out looking for you to treat you better, while the lowbrow hustlers were out here trying to scrape the lining out of your pockets. They didn't owe it to you to come seek you out even when they were saying that you should recognize that they exist. But likewise, you and I don't owe it to those good sisters to get out there and find them just because now employers changed their hiring decisions collectively. Your rescue was never their concern or responsibility when you were young, even though they insisted that you never conclude they don't exist. Well, black man, you can insist that they never conclude you don't exist just because you don't have to, and will not go on a search and rescue mission for these women who didn't roll their necks and snap their fingers at the job and provoke these layoffs and job losses. True, those particular black women that were professional are not at fault for this, but remember, neither are you. Your experiences being ill-treated, used, financially objectified, and lied to pay for other men's chance to play aren't your fault. But did they ever stand up and say it was theirs either? The way they will tell you that their current suffering is yours? Don't you fall for that trap and trick, black man. Remember that those classy sisters may not have chosen the bear, but even they often chose themselves, which wasn't wrong, but which does mean that there is no one outside of themselves to rescue them and get them through this. They should be the ones to teach today's girls, tomorrow's women, that if they don't work with the marriage market's men they want and actually show some interest and fairness, they are saying that when times like these hit, when winter sets in, that they aren't in need of our firewood or stored food to get through it any more than the women who chose the bear over the men. To share with men, you either bring something of comparable value to share in exchange, or you choose the man when it's not winter and help him store up before winter arrives. Those are the only options. Men who offer a third are simps if they know any better and are ignorant if they don't. I sincerely hope this helps. Thanks for listening again, my people. Black heart, black mind, black out. As salam alaikum and black heterosexual non-select male power just because these misandrists don't like it, and black patriarchy until extinction or judgment day. Thank you again for flying with Jet Black Air, where the phrase jet black is also a verb. Keep jetting black with us until the wings and the wheels fall off. Gender and racial justice forever.